Now it's time to get ready for a behavioral-based interview. In this module, you will learn what a behavioral-based interview is and why it's the most used method of interviewing in the developmental services sector. Behavioral interviewing is an interview style that focuses on your past experiences by asking you to provide specific examples of how you have demonstrated certain behaviors, knowledge, skills, and abilities. Behavioral interview questions tend to be pointed, probing, and specific. Unlike traditional interview questions, behavior interview techniques look for concrete examples of skills and experiences that relate to the specific role. It's not how you would react in a certain situation, it's describing how you did react in the situation. Because each behavioral interview question requires you to share a specific story that highlights your strengths and skills, thoughtful preparation is important to help you feel confident and prepared. In addition to behavior-based interview questions, you may be asked a few technical questions or knowledge-based questions. You need to be prepared to answer these as well. Behavior-based interviews are a preferred method to conduct interviews because it is based on competencies and behaviors critical for the success in a particular role. This contributes to ensuring the right person is in the right role. An important element to this style of interviewing is that it is objective, which helps eliminate unintentional biases. It is structured with the same set questions that are delivered to every candidate in the same wording, in the same order, and scored in the same way. It focuses less on a specific task a candidate has done and more on approaches to doing them. Because behavioral interviews involve telling stories instead of answering questions, candidates tend to be more comfortable. It's important to prepare and provide the stories that show you in the best light. Most behavioral interviews follow the STAR model, meaning when you are answering a question, you will use the following sequence. First, the situation. What was the situation you were in? Then the task. What was the task that had to be done? Next, the result. What was the result of the situations and your actions? Lastly, action. What action or steps did you take? Watch this short video to learn more about the STAR model.
Hey, my name is Evan, and I'm a recruiter at Indeed. A behavioral interview is a technique that recruiters, like me, use to judge candidates based on their past behavior. Instead of asking hypothetical questions like, how would you react if you were under a lot of pressure at work? We might ask situational questions like, describe a time you were under a lot of pressure at work. How'd you react? A question I like to use is, tell me about a mistake that you've made. How'd you handle it? Success in a behavioral interview is all about preparation, so I recommend a process called the STAR method. With this method, you create a deliberate story arc that your interviewer can easily follow. Here's how it works. First, you start with the situation. What's the context of your story? Then add a task. What was your role in this situation? Next, share your action. What'd you do? And wrap it up with a result. What'd your actions lead to? Let's give it a try. Say you're in an interview and the recruiter asks, can you tell me about a challenging situation you overcame at work? Then you say, we were working on a 6-month contract for a high-value client when our agency merged with another larger firm. It was my role to lead the transition for my group while also communicating with our client to keep the project on track. I set up weekly check-ins with the client to update them on the progress of the merger. I also had regular one-on-ones with each person on the team to assess how they were handling the change. We ended up completing the project on time, meeting all their needs. It was really rewarding to navigate a lot of change and succeed under pressure. And you're done. See, that wasn't so hard. Practice is key. You won't be able to anticipate every question you get, but with a strong set of anecdotes, you'll be able to answer each one with confidence. Remember, they're interviewing you for a reason. You'll do great.
Getting an interview is your opportunity to get the job you want. Don't miss out because you didn't know the basic guidelines that govern any interview process. The key to success is being prepared. Before the interview, make sure you study the job description and research the organization. It's also good to research what's new in the sector. Reviewing past projects you've worked on and making a list of your professional accomplishments will enable you to pull together stories that will help you illustrate your competencies. Use the STAR method to structure your responses. Remember, it's identifying the situation, what your task was, what actions you took, and what the result was. Always be open and honest in your answers, and it's always good to practice your responses out loud. Try to be as concise as possible in your answers. Try to keep your answers under 2 minutes each, but taking your time and asking for clarification when needed. Most importantly, don't forget to take a breath. Here are some key steps you can take to be prepared for your interview. Prepare your 30-second personal pitch. Prepare a list of questions to ask the interviewer. Get permission from your references to use their names and have a reference list ready. Prepare your interview answers. Do a mock interview. List the competencies you possess that fit the job requirements and have examples of each. Dress for success and look your best. Items to bring to the interview. A copy of your resume on quality paper. A copy of your references. A pad of paper and pen to take notes. Make sure you know where you're going and have clear directions on how to get to the interview. The interview's contact information, phone number and room number. Upon arrival and during the interview, make sure you arrive early, 15 minutes before your appointment. Announce yourself to the receptionist in a professional manner. Go to the restroom and check your appearance one last time. Stand and greet your interviewer. Smile and maintain eye contact. During the interview, try to focus on the points you have prepared without sounding stiff. Ask questions and listen, always trying to engage the interviewer. At the conclusion, thank the interviewer and inquire about the next steps. After the interview, make sure you do the following. Firstly, send a thank you letter within 24 hours restating your fit for the job. Follow up after 1 to 2 weeks, restating your interest and to see if they made a decision. If you didn't get the job, ask for feedback. If they have not made a decision, restate why you are the best candidate. Thank you for joining us for this module on how to ace a behavior-based interview. We wish you the best of luck in your exciting career in developmental services.